Just by L'Oreal.
Area 2 Police Headquarters with the latest. And Lily, I understand that they have just pressed charges against this man?
John, just seconds ago we learned that the state's attorney's office has approved charges against this man who allegedly got out of prison only to rape and rob the woman who wrote to him behind bars. And tonight we have learned that 33-year-old Melvin Adams is a career criminal, a convicted armed robber and criminal sex offender who has done long stretches at Pontiac and at Menard. We also have reason to believe that his victim's nightmare of harassment and violence started with a random collect call made from inside prison. Melvin Adams is a two-time loser, and this time police would like to put him away permanently. He was arrested this morning after a short foot chase on the city's near west side. Tonight he's being held at Area 2 Police Headquarters in connection with the rape and robbery of a 39-year-old Southside woman who began writing him letters at Pontiac Prison. Their correspondence started after the woman accepted a collect call from Adams, and eventually she even came to visit him 3 times at Pontiac. The 33-year-old Adams is no stranger to the correctional system. In January 1983, Adams was sentenced to 7 years for armed robbery and sent to Pontiac Prison, where he served 4 years and was released in January '87. 2 months later, he was convicted of criminal sexual assault and sentenced to 15 years at Menard. He was paroled in May of 1995 and immediately tried contacting his pen pal. She told him she wanted nothing to do with him, but it wasn't enough to stop him from terrorizing her. Now other neighborhood residents say they too are being bombarded by collect calls from inside Illinois prisons. Last week, this woman fielded 30 calls in less than 20 minutes.
I'm still getting calls from this guy in prison. He wants us to accept this collect call. And one time I accepted just to ask him, who are you? And why are you calling me? He's saying, you know who I am, and I don't know who you are. Could you please stop calling my house? And he's still calling.
Her husband says that behind bars, the phone numbers are bought and bartered between prisoners.
They know they don't know you. They know you don't know them, but if they get you to accept and they start talking to you, that's good enough for them.
Corrections spokesman Nick Howell says prisoners have a constitutional right to reach out and touch whoever is unlucky or unwise enough to accept the charges.
In the event that an inmate calls you back more than once, and you don't want that inmate to, you feel like you're being bothered by that, we'd be only too glad to fix that for you. All it takes is a call to the warden of the institution from which the call is being made.
Howell says that Illinois has a pilot program at the Western Correctional Facility where inmates are allowed to register up to 30 phone numbers and then are allowed to call only those 30 phone numbers. As for Adams, we have learned that he was arrested most recently in February in connection with the sexual assault of a child, but was released when those charges were dropped for lack of evidence. This time, prosecutors say if the charges stick and Adams is convicted, they hope to put him away for the rest of his life. Reporting from Area 2 Police Headquarters, I'm Lilia Chacon, Fox News. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Lilia. In other news tonight, police in Hammond, Indiana are closing the case of the imposter cop and the sexual assault of 2 teenage girls. The teens told their story to our Kevin McCarty a week after the alleged attack, but Hammond police found discrepancies in their account of a man who identified himself as a Hammond officer before assaulting them. And after a lie detector test, the 2 girls recanted portions of their accusations. Tonight, Hammond police say patrolmen were near the scene of the alleged attack. When told that fact, the girls changed the location. Police also say one alleged rape victim wouldn't let doctors take evidence. The girls face possible charges of filing a false police report.
Chicago police teamed up with the Secret Service to bust what they say was a street gang cell phone cloning ring. In a raid last night, they arrested 3 members of the Gangster Disciples. Police confiscated 29 portable phones and a device to steal cell phone numbers. Money and crack cocaine were also taken. Authorities say cloning victims usually don't even know they've been hit until their bill arrives.
By the time you realize through phone bills that your phone is being cloned, you can accumulate thousands of dollars worth of phone bills.
Cellular One says each cloned phone is worth at least $1,000.
Downstate St. Anne High School has been all but shut down by angry students. They are protesting the firing of their principal. The school board says she was let go because of poor performance. The principal says the reason is racism. Amy Hesser has the story.
Usually, students want to avoid the principal, but at St. Anne Community High School, they want to avoid losing her.
She's real supportive, and she's really helping us a lot. And I feel if we lose her, we've lost a lot.
She is Genova Singleton. After 3 years as principal here, the school board voted Monday night not to bring her back next fall. In protest of that decision, nearly half the 350-member student body stayed home today, while others came to school and sat in the hallways.
We're hurting for the children's sake because they are our future. And we just want to know why the board members decided to fire Mrs. Singleton.
Singleton says she's being let go because the white school board members object to the fact she reported a white teacher's alleged sexual advances against a black student. Singleton says the school superintendent told her to sweep the matter under the rug.
I had to call the Department of Children and Family Services to let them know what the student had reported to me. And that's just what I did. I think that's probably the basis of him or whoever decided not to vote for me.
The superintendent denies the claim.
I did not tell her not to, no.
The Department of Children and Family Services investigated but determined the allegation was unfounded. The school board president says Singleton's termination has nothing to do with that incident or racism.
She's cost us money. She's made some poor budget decisions as far as transportation is concerned. She's handled the discipline in the wrong way.
This is one of the empty classrooms at St. Anne High School, and protesting students tell me they won't be coming back to their desks here until the school board makes some changes.
If we have to go to this extreme to get the board members to hear our side and our story, that's what we have to do.
The school board has scheduled an emergency closed meeting for Monday night. Amy Hesser, Fox News, Chicago.
Concerned parents and students will be meeting tomorrow to discuss the situation.
A fire scare at O'Hare Airport early this morning. Smoke filled Terminal 3 after a piece of luggage jammed in a conveyor belt. The terminal was evacuated and no one was injured, but dozens of flights were delayed up to half an hour.
There's still plenty more ahead on Fox News. Dean Olds questions his estranged daughter on the witness stand.
But he doesn't ask about his late wife's disputed property. He asks about his grandchild.
Some displaced Wisconsin residents tonight realized Dorothy was right. There is no place like home.
Princess Di's next date will be with her insurance man.
And a Catholic girls' school is torn over policy on prom dates. What do you think? Should students without dates be banned from prom? The results of our Voice Your Choice poll coming up.
Fox News Chicago is brought to you in part by the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
How can this be car of the year? You can't get up and walk around in a car. Cars don't have seats on rollers, or so many seats, period. Or so much space for so many things. And they certainly don't offer sliding doors on both sides. Well then, it would appear that for the first time ever, the Motor Trend Car of the Year is more than a car. It's a caravan from the new Dodge.
Charity begins at home, in the closet to be precise. During Carson's Goodwill Wardrobe Sale, bring in your old wear-to-work clothes for donation to Goodwill Industries, and every item you bring earns a $10 certificate good toward any $50 purchase. Carson's Goodwill Wardrobe Sale. You come out looking good, and so does someone else.
Come to the right place.
Carson's.
Talk about peer pressure, a high school prom where single girls aren't allowed. Coming up on Fox News.
How to prepare authentic chicken cacciatore.
new cacciatore sauce from Contadina, based on a recipe from Contadina's Casa Buitoni in Italy. Simmer with chicken and turn dinner into a country Italian meal. Cacciatore, one of 4 new country Italian cooking sauces from Contadina, the freshest ideas in Italian cooking.
You're well into the darkness of winter, so why go out now? Because the Toyota Spring Rush is on. If you rush into your dealer, you can see Toyota's classic flagship Avalon. And while everyone else is in hibernation, get a great value on a new Camry. I'm talking best car built in America. And with low 4.9% financing, they're going flat out. But hurry, they'll be gone before the snow melts. Brand new Toyotas, special Camry values to boot. Wow, what a rush.
It was Dean Olds questioning his own daughter today in the battle over the family's assets. Olds' 3 children blame him for their mother's brutal murder 3 years ago. They're asking a divorce court judge to take away his home and his personal wealth. Our Larry Yellen has the story.
During a lunch break at the Dean Olds divorce trial, Mr. Olds heads for the exclusive Union League Club, where he is a member. Lawyers for the estate of his murdered wife, Suzanne Olds, suggest that his upscale dining habits show that the once prominent trademark attorney is concealing his true wealth. And if Olds is so poor, they inquired today, why is he sending moneygrams like these, over $5,000 this year alone, to his one-time boyfriend, Helmut Hofer, who Olds admits may have bludgeoned his wife to death?
I asked him whether or not he was continuing to pay money to Mr. Hofer as part of a reward or payment for murdering his wife, and he denied it.
The money I sent to him, as you heard from the testimony, is chicken feed. If somebody is hiring a hitman, you tell me where you'd hire him for $500.
Acting as his own attorney, Olds had the opportunity today to cross-examine his own daughter, and he tried to come across not as some cold-hearted estate attorney, but as a caring grandfather. Kristen Olds Glavin testified on her late mother's behalf that her mother, not her father, had been primarily responsible for raising their 3 children. On cross-examination, Olds asked his daughter, who hasn't spoken to him in the 2 years since the murder, if she would tell him the name of his new granddaughter.
I learned from my oldest daughter, Kristen, what my granddaughter's name was and in court today, and she's not a redhead, she's a blonde, so I learned a couple of things. I was kind of hoping it might melt the ice a little bit. Didn't.
Olds then put himself on the stand, answering his own questions. He almost broke down as he described Suzanne Olds' contributions as a mother. She was the cornerstone of your marriage?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
At the Daily Center, Larry Yellen, Fox News, Chicago.
Olds says that he sends money to Helmut Hofer because his friend is out of work and ill. Closing arguments in the case are set for Monday.
At long last, residents are returning to their homes in Weyauwega, Wisconsin. That was the site of a fiery train wreck where propane tankers derailed and ignited. 1,700 people evacuated are being allowed to return home for good. They'd been in temporary shelter for 18 days. Folks are happy to return, but now have to deal with houses damaged by neglect.
Yeah, mine got hurt a little worse than some. I had hot water heat, and a lot of the radiators broke. There's no place like home, and that adage means an awful lot more to you when you're forced out for 3 weeks.
Traffic is beginning to pick up, but residents say it will be a long time before life returns to normal.
An undercover drug buy in Philadelphia went bad today, leaving a suspect and an FBI agent dead. Reports say the bodies of the agent and the suspect were found in the agent's car. Sources tell a Philadelphia radio station that the agent was wearing a wire to record the transaction. No word yet on details of the shooting or who might have pulled the trigger. And a follow-up to last night's story about a standoff in suburban New York City. Richard Sachi shot and killed a police officer, wounded another, then held off police with volleys of gunfire. 11 hours into the standoff, police stormed the house. They found that Sachi had killed his grandmother and his dog before taking his own life.
Fighting words on the floor of the House of Representatives today over the ban on assault weapons. The House voted to repeal the ban, but not before one member invited a colleague to step outside. Details from Fox reporter Rita Cosby in Washington.
War weapons on the street.
The day began with emotional pleas from families who've lost loved ones to killers armed with assault weapons.
There's no reason why any parent should have to have a poster like this instead of having the picture on a mantle.
Debate on the House floor turned into a shouting match involving a member of the Kennedys who reminded his colleagues how his family has been plagued by violent crime.
Families like mine all across this country know all too well what the damage of weapons can do, and you want to arm our people even more.
Tell me, my wife lives alone 5 days a week in a rural area in upstate New York. She has a right to defend herself when I'm not there, son.
Those who voted to repeal the ban say it violates the right to bear arms and has little effect in deterring crime. Despite massive opposition, the controversial repeal passed in the House by a comfortable margin.
And we took one very large step today in support of the rights of American citizens to defend themselves.
All is not lost. What today is, though, is just a symbolic slap in the face to the people of America.
But it's highly unlikely that this bill will ever become law. Despite today's vote in the House, the bill probably won't make it through the Senate, where it will certainly face strong opposition from both Democrats and Republicans.
We lost by about, I didn't get the exact.
Only minutes after the vote, supporters of the ban marched over to the Senate to show their resolve.
The good news is this will be dead on arrival in the Senate of the United States.
And President Clinton says he'll veto it if it ever hits his desk. Reporting from Washington, Rita Cosby, Fox News.
Now, as for the bill's chances in the Senate, Majority Leader Bob Dole said repeal of the assault weapon ban is not a priority.
Still ahead on Fox News Chicago, a dance dispute steps on the toes of some Mother McCauley students.
Should girls without dates be allowed to go stag to the prom?
And do women pay a penalty at the tailors or the dry cleaners because of their sex?
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggets. Coming up later in sports, the Blackhawks skated into the New Jersey Meadowlands tonight to take on the defending Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils. We'll, of course, have highlights. And the basketball firings continue at the University of Illinois, but this time in Chicago. And this man could be the beneficiary. Details later in sports.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Shaw. We ended the work week with bright sunshine and highs in the 40s to near 50 degrees. But what will the first weekend in spring 1996 have to offer? I'll have your forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
If you missed Fox Thing, you missed our new and more detailed traffic map.
We're on Rodman watch here. As you can see, here he is on the inbound side of the Kennedy, right around Armitage there.
Why is Dennis Rodman on Lakeshore Drive now?
Did he move on us?
Well, we're just trying to position him a little bit.
Greatest Oscar moments from the past, Monday.
Scottie Pippen and Corey McFerrin. This is the team nobody can beat. The Final Word, Sunday night at 9:30 on Fox 32.
Michael, this first shot is of our rafting trip.
When the Chevy representative dropped by to talk with us about our Blazer trip to Alaska, I bet he never dreamed he'd have so much fun.
The next one is of Mount McKinley.
We showed him the 190 horsepower engine that took us 10,000 miles through the tundra.
Now this picture is of a bear.
But I got the feeling he just wanted to hear about our trip.
There's the bear again.
There's never a dull moment when you own a Blazer.
What's the difference between men's clothes and women's clothes? You'd be surprised. Details coming up on Fox News.
Famous person Melissa Poe. Famous Feet founded the world's largest environmental kids club.
I started Kids for a Clean Environment when I was 9. Over 250,000 kids have gotten involved, but I couldn't have done it without the help of a great friend, my mom.
Now get 10 to 30% off all athletics with a part of this year's sales going to Melissa's club. Get style.
Get involved.
Get famous. Famous footwear.
If you were building the perfect sedan, how would you do it? Well, you'd start with the luxuries you could get, like a Bose audio system with 6 individually tuned speakers and a keyless remote entry. Install a powerful 190 horsepower V6 engine. Then, as a finishing touch, you'd put it on Car and Driver's 10 best list. The Nissan Maxima, the perfect sedan.
No date, no dance. That's the rule, and it's final, according to school officials at Mother Macaulay Liberal Arts High School on the city's southwest side. Students at the all-girls Catholic school are expected to be escorted by a male date to formal dances. If they can't get a date or choose not to, they're told to stay at home. But one student is trying to break tradition. Kelly Noah finds herself in the throes of tradition 5 days a week at Mother Macaulay Liberal Arts High School. But when it comes to the tradition and school policy of taking a male date to formal dances, the high school junior would just as soon forget it.
I ended up having a real hard time getting a date for sophomore dance. I ended up going with someone I met that night, and it was just a dumb experience, really. I mean, just why did I have to go through that? So this year, her date to the junior dance was a life-size cutout of Star Wars star Luke Skywalker. Not exactly what Macaulay principal Sister Corrine Raven had in mind. She says if the girls don't take a guy to the dance, they can't go at all.
The purpose behind it is to teach them the skills of social interaction, be able to handle themselves. Skill they needed now, they'll need in the future. That's all.
Students at the all-girls school are split on the subject.
I just don't think it's fair, because why should we have to take someone to a dance when we're liberal women and we can have a fun time without a male escort? It's kind of like a tradition, and they want the school to look respectable and, you know, not shock anyone.
So what about the educational aspect of the event? Social skills could be important down the road.
I mean, we're getting ready to go to college. If we don't know by now, you know, what's the purpose? That's a stupid excuse.
I think that we're being educated 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, so why can't we just have fun?
The prom predicament is the subject of tonight's Voice Your Choice. All day long, we've been calling you and your neighbors, asking you what you think. Specifically, we wanted to know, should students without dates be banned from their proms? And here's what you told us. 13% of you said yes, a prom should be for couples only, while 87% of you said no. What's the big deal about letting individuals attend? That's tonight's Voice Your Choice. Thanks for letting us know what you think.
Are women paying a high price for sexism in the marketplace? According to Alderman Gene Schulter, pricing inequities cost women at least an extra $1,000 a year. That's because women usually pay more than men for services such as dry cleaning and haircuts. Alderman Mary Ann Smith said she recently refused to pay $24 to have her jacket altered.
You can see that I really need to have these sleeves altered. As a professional woman, we have to pay to be professional and competitive and presentable, and it shouldn't have to cost more than a professional man has to pay.
Alterations on men's suits are usually free. Alderman Smith and Schulter are calling for a task force to study gender pricing.
Governor Edgar took his case to the General Assembly today. He's calling for a drastic overhaul in education spending. He wants to trade cuts in property taxes for higher state income taxes. Political reporter Jack Conity was in Springfield, where the political temperature was decidedly chilly.
Jim Edgar says it's now or never for educational reform, now or never for state lawmakers to put his tax ideas to a statewide vote.
Would require some increases in state taxes in order to provide substantial property tax relief at the local level. That is why we should let the people decide.
Ironically, the strongest opposition to the governor's proposal could come from the Republicans, who see all of this as a dangerous idea in an election year.
If people perceive it as a large tax increase, Republicans, generally speaking, are perceived as anti-tax increases. So it's not a good thing for Republicans.
My early expectation is that the governor's own people will kill this proposal. And based upon what Philip is saying today, it sounds like I'm correct.
Democrats now ridicule Edgar for grabbing an idea from Dawn Clark Netsch. An idea, if not her pool stick.
He has a tough sell as far as his members of the Illinois General Assembly are concerned.
The timing is difficult, honestly, coming off the heels of a primary election where Republicans, I think some of them took some lumps this week.
Edgar is popular, but he's not up for election this year. Most politicians here are. And in politics, as in hardball, timing is everything. Jack Connerty, Fox News, Springfield.
In order to get the referendum on the ballot this fall, the governor must get the support of 3/5 of both the House and Senate.
Still ahead on Fox News Chicago, weatherman Steve Schill on a warmer but ultimately wetter weekend.
And the sound of children laughing is heard once again in the halls of a school in Dunblane, Scotland.
Don't blame the doctors at one Omaha hospital if they're seeing double.
And did Alec Baldwin cross the line with a photographer who tried to get a picture of his new baby? The jury's decision is in.
When it comes to buying or selling real estate anywhere in Chicagoland, nothing succeeds like the real estate sections of the Chicago Tribune.
No, I understand. Well, don't come unglued now.
When it comes to getting the job you want every day, and even on the internet, nothing succeeds like the job sections of the Chicago Tribune.
There were 2 times when we wanted our customers to really appreciate the new Chrysler Sebring convertible. Day and night. We literally redefined the convertible from the ground up. Of course, sunny skies and starry nights aren't the only reasons to own this car. It's quieter than you'd expect. Cab forward provides more interior room as well as a more stable ride. It truly is a car that gives you the sun, the moon, and an actual backseat.
Bend a spoon with your mind and win $1 million. But there's a catch. Coming up on Fox News.
Kohl's grand opening sale ends this Saturday with a Super Saturday. So this will be your last chance to get the same 88 pages of grand opening savings our new customers are getting all across America. Plus, we're going to make this Saturday really super by adding 8 new pages of savings. That's right, 96 pages of exceptional values on brand names, including 8 new pages from 8 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Get the same Super Saturday grand opening savings our newest customers are getting at your Kohl's store this Saturday.
So, just how are we going to have more fun in the 90s? Introducing the new 4x4 X90 from Suzuki. It's going to make the 90s a lot more fun. The X90 from Suzuki. Ask anyone who owns one. Now through March 31st, lease a new X90 for just $127 a month at your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Suzuki dealers.
Topping tonight's news from around the world, a terrorist involved in the 1985 hijacking of the cruise ship Achille Laura is back in jail. Youssef Al-Mulki disappeared 3 weeks ago while on a furlough from an Italian prison. He's serving 30 years for killing Leon Klinghoffer, a wheelchair-bound American tourist, on the Achille Laura.
Dunblane, Scotland came alive with children's voices today for the first time in 9 days. Classes resumed in the school where a gunman slaughtered 16 kindergarten students and their teacher. Many parents escorted their children to class. School officials said things are getting back to normal.
In London, Princess Diana was involved in a royal fender bender tonight. Police say she was driving alone in heavy traffic when 2 cars collided near her. One of the cars sideswiped Diana's borrowed car. Police say no one was hurt, but Princess Diana was shaken.
It's a Vatican first. Pope John Paul II is going commercial. He's shown here during last year's visit to Baltimore, but in the advertisement, the Vatican is using a film clip showing him hiking in a forest 12 years ago. The clip is part of a 45-second TV commercial selling a CD on which the Pope is reciting the Rosary in Italian. The English and Spanish versions were released on CD last year.
Well, if you had a chance to get out today, it was a great one. I had a chance to get out and build a fence.
Oh, how exciting.
Yeah, real exciting.
Pretty soon you'll be out on your boat, though, huh?
Sailing, well, hopefully.
Sailing the lake. How very exciting.
What do you think, about July?
No,
okay. Way it was last year. That's exactly what happened. June was a cold month last year.
You know what's kind of a stinker is that we experienced a beautiful day today, and as we head into the weekend, temperatures will remain on the warm side, in the 40s to near 50 degrees. But as we head into next week, folks, it looks like winter will return. Ooh, great weekend ahead, though. Here we go. Let's start with Oak and Rush Streets. Katie, thanks for the shot, and folks out strolling, taking advantage of what has turned from a lovely day into a nice evening. Nice evening to be out for a little stroll. Current conditions. Out at O'Hare right now, it is 37 degrees. Winds right now are out of the west at 7 miles per hour. Gives us a wind chill of about 30 degrees, 36% relative humidity. And as far as pressure, it's rising at 30.02 inches of mercury. Around the area, from Milwaukee all the way down through Gary, temps are in the 30s and 40s. 40 right now for you Southsiders at Midway, 30 degrees across the border in Gary. Connie, thanks for the report from Island Lake. She says it's a virtual heat wave up there, 40 degrees. And Karen, thanks for the report from Geneva, 35 degrees there. O'Hare this afternoon, 46 degrees, 47 degrees at Midway, 43 degrees at the lakefront. Normal or average high would be 47 degrees. Normal or average low would be about 30. We were below in both departments in terms of the official records. Got some cloud cover, folks. It's going to make its way into our area as early as late tomorrow morning into the afternoon hours. It'll build up over our area tomorrow night. Chance of evening showers. But it does look like a beautiful morning. Mostly sunny conditions tomorrow morning. And as we head into the afternoon hours, more and more cloud cover once again, leading to a chance of showers as early as tomorrow evening. Here's the situation. We've got a pair of high pressure areas. This one will get pinched to the north over the next 24 hours, allowing this low to make its way into our area, increasing the cloud cover as early as tomorrow morning into tomorrow evening. And as we head into Sunday, this system will continue to make its way towards Chicago, this one pushing up and into Canada, leaving us with low pressure dominating Sunday afternoon, and that could mean some rain as we head into Sunday and into Monday. Tuesday into Wednesday, there's some cool air spilling out of the Gulf of Alaska. That cool air should be able to make its way into our area along about Tuesday into Wednesday. High temperatures will only push into the 30s at that point. Evansville, Indiana, a record low this morning at 18 degrees. The previous record, 21 degrees, set in 1986. 1 to 3 inches of snow just to the northeast of us. The forecast for this evening looks like this. Mostly clear tonight. Lows between 20 and 25 degrees. Winds on the light side coming right now out of the northwest for the most part. And tomorrow, increasing clouds with a chance of evening showers. The high tomorrow between 45 and 50 degrees. Wouldn't surprise me if many of you looked at your thermometers by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon and saw temperatures in the mid-50s, especially on the south side. Southeasterlies tomorrow to about 15 miles per hour. And here is your 5-day forecast. Once again, it looks like a chance of showers as early as Sunday into Monday, into Tuesday. Actually, Tuesday should be dry. Tuesday should be dry. Wednesday should be partly cloudy. Cloudy conditions on Thursday with a chance of rain or snow. If it drops below 36 degrees into the low 30s, we could be looking another shot of light. It's all right. We'll get through it. We'll get through it together. Yeah, until
Let's just look into the weekend.
The big person sings, I guess, whatever.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Still ahead on Fox News Chicago, a young woman plays hardball when told to move over to the girls' softball team.
Will she sacrifice or swing away? We'll have her story.
That new Spike Lee movie about phone sex turns out to be a wrong number for one businessman.
And remember that man who stalked Madonna? Well, he won't be bothering her again for a long time. Plus...
Good evening, Mr. President, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, radio and TV scum.
Blue humor at a black tie dinner has some in the White House seeing red.
Charity begins at home, in the closet to be precise. During Carson's Goodwill Wardrobe Sale, bring in your old wear-to-work clothes for donation to Goodwill Industries, and every item you bring earns a $10 certificate good toward any $50 purchase. Carson's Goodwill Wardrobe Sale. You come out looking good, and so does someone else.
Come to the right place.
Carson's.
You know who makes the best poppadom in Kensington. You know where to find a puppet show in Rome every afternoon, except Wednesday. You know rugby, cricket, football, bocce, and baseball. And now you know how to get clear, fast connections virtually anywhere there's a phone. With MCI World, you get unsurpassed service to 280 countries and places, everywhere you want to call. MCI World, for citizens of the world.
If you can bend a spoon with your mind, a man will make you a millionaire. Coming up on Fox News.
Circuit City's National Home Appliance Money Back Days are going on now, and you'll find big savings on Whirlpool, Amana, GE, Maytag, KitchenAid, and more. Like $25 to $100 rebates on select top brand appliances, $50 rebates on select lawn repairs,
And this Hot Point 21 cubic foot refrigerator with bonus ice maker is just $566.97. Hurry in for special financing offers, too. It's Circuit City's National Home Appliance Money Back Days, going on now.
A Cadillac DeVille, a Lincoln Town Car. The DeVille has front-wheel drive and full-range traction control standard. And now it's made even better with the North Star system. Just something to think about when you have somewhere to be this winter. Nothing feels like a Cadillac DeVille. Now $469 a month and $2675 down.
So, you think you can pick me up in the morning?
See your Cadillac dealer today.
A Maryland county is playing hardball with a high school freshman who wants to play hardball. The problem? She's a girl. Becky Carlson made a high school JV baseball team as a reserve outfielder. She's been playing in different leagues for years, but county officials say she should think about playing on the high school softball team.
There was really no rule that said, it didn't say in bold print in the rule book, it didn't say no girls playing baseball. It was like, unless it's offered a comparable sport. And I don't think softball is a comparable sport to baseball.
Well, everybody feels that she's just one of the players and should be allowed to play.
Anybody that can make a team like this, you've seen the way they are playing, deserves to play on a team like this.
Becky did play in the team's first game of the season. She got hit by a pitch and got credit for a stolen base.
Olympic diver Greg Louganis is making a splash right here in Chicago tonight.
Just sucking. Ow!
Symbol of hope for the cure for AIDS. The daffodil.
Louganis signed copies of his best-selling book, Breaking the Surface, at a Lakeview bookstore. It just came out in paperback. Louganis says since revealing his HIV status last year, he's been overwhelmed by the support of his fans.
It's great. I mean, just to have that kind of support. And, I mean, I know I was here last year, but, you know, and softcover has been, you know, a little quieter, a lot more tame. But, you know, it's nice. I was worried that nobody's going to show up.
Needless concern tonight, the line of his fans waiting for an autograph, from the book stretched out the bookstore.
A controversial hospice for AIDS patients in suburban Burbank is closing, the victim of money problems and complaints by neighborhood residents. Those residents were never happy when the one-time nursing home started taking in AIDS patients 2 years ago. Burbank's mayor said there was evidence of criminal behavior, including patient-on-patient rape, thefts, and drug use. But the director of Sunset House denies the charge.
When we first opened, we offered to educate, you know, the residents. We offered to educate the fire department, the police department, the wives, anybody who had any concerns. We were never taken up on any of the offers.
The mayor of Burbank said tonight the closing of Sunset House should in no way detract from the compassionate nature of the suburb's residents.
Nurses and doctors in the maternity ward of one Nebraska hospital have their hands full tonight, coping with multiple sets of twins. 5 sets of twins were born yesterday at Began Mercy Medical Center, all within a span of 7.5 hours. One by one, the women went into the delivery rooms. 2 by 2, their babies came out.
Still ahead on Fox News Chicago, this may be a long weekend for Mel Gibson, Emma Thompson, and other Oscar hopefuls.
But Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd and company won't be breaking a sweat. Their creator has his Oscar in the bag.
Comedian George Burns gets the last laugh from his grave.
And can you bend spoons with the power of positive thinking? If you can, you'll be able to bend them on just about any car you desire.
Saturday.
Drop the knife and come out and talk to us.
2 cops tried to stop a man from committing suicide.
Don't do it.
A brand new primetime Cops. Then, she was the victim of a twisted obsession.
I love you.
Now, it's up to you to find the killer.
This is for you.
Saturday at 7 on Fox 32.
Miller Lite presents Fox Saturday Night Fights featuring former heavyweight champion Oliver McCall.
Saturday at 10 on Fox 32.
Welcome to an Ameritech test 10.
Okay, gentlemen, today, razor cuts. Pay attention, Henry.
Where folks continually test our stuff to make sure it's easy to use.
I tell you, here in Milan, on this side.
Like video conferencing, which lets you exchange ideas halfway around the world.
Walter, your turn.
Okay.
Now, remember, beauty starts here. It's all mental.
Because if technology doesn't work for people, it doesn't work. Ameritech, your link to better communication.
Hear the jokes about the Clintons the White House doesn't want you to hear. Coming up on Fox News.
Wonder where everybody's going.
Rock concert?
Nope.
Grilled Cajun fajitas from Chile.
RV show.
That's tomorrow.
Spicy, right off the grill.
Lodge meeting.
Yeah, right.
Grilled Cajun fajitas. Try them.
Are you getting hungry?
Chili's grills like no place else.
This is unprecedented. $1,000 cash back on Ford Escort. Are you with me on this? For a limited time, your local Ford dealer is offering $1,000 cash back on all new 3-door Escorts. That's $1,000 cash back on the #1 selling small car in America. Escort already gives you more features, more safety, and more value. Now you get $1,000 cash, too. What could you do with an extra $1,000 bucks? Lots. $1,000 cash back on Escort, and soon. See your local Ford dealer today. There's more to afford.
There's one sure winner when the Oscars are handed out Monday night. He's Chuck Jones, creator of that Wascally Wabbit and other beloved cartoon characters. Jones will be honored with a special Oscar. Fox reporter Susan Campos looks at the cartoonist and his favorite characters.
What's up, Doc?
Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Elmer Fudd will all be getting the respect they deserve on March 25th. That's when Chuck Jones, the man behind these cartoon characters, receives an honorary Oscar.
Who are your favorite characters? You've created so many.
Well, if you have children, you know that it's not a good idea to have a favorite, at least not publicly.
But he will admit to admiring certain qualities in his children.
I feel probably more at home with the villains. Much more at home with Daffy.
Anyone that works with me should never get me riled. Oh, and why not?
He's hardly my favorite. I mean, he's such an antisocial character that you can't do that. But I recognize more of my traits in him than I do in Bugs.
That's right, paranormalist. We'll be a pair of paranormalists. Get it?
Bugs Bunny took about 5 years to get where he is now.
It took you 5 years to make the final Bugs Bunny?
Yep. Not only in his drawing, but in his personality.
That's that Scooey Wabbit.
At the beginning, he was just crazy. That's about all you could say about it. But we discovered that Bugs, as he went along, got longer legs, got more debonair, and wasn't crazy. He could pretend like he was crazy. Nearly all great comedians do that, from Harpo Marx to Robin Williams.
It's a career that began almost 60 years ago.
My lifetime covers the entire history of animation.
His first movie was The Night Watchman.
When they ran in the theater, I wouldn't go. I was afraid it wouldn't move. So then they just got started into the thing, and this little girl sitting behind me said words that are engraved on my heart. She said, "Mommy, I knew we should have come here."
For decades, they kept coming. In fact, Peter and the Wolf, Chuck Jones' newest project, is coming out this week on home video.
To this day, I'm concerned whether people will laugh.
Even at the age of 83, he still has doubts, but no one else seems to.
I'm not modest. I just do what I enjoy doing, and I don't take pride in the position. I take pleasure in the accomplishment.
In Los Angeles, Susan Campos, Fox News.
That's all, folks. Actor Kirk Douglas will also be given an Oscar for his career in the movies on Monday.
At least one person in the White House is not laughing at some of the jokes from last night's Washington Correspondents' Dinner. White House Press Secretary Mike McCurry asked the cable network C-SPAN not to rebroadcast the remarks by featured speaker Don Imus. The radio host took on nearly everyone in the room, including the president and the Speaker of the House. Among the comments that irritated McCurry, this one about Mr. Clinton's brief appearance last year as a baseball announcer.
When Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's consecutive game record, the president was at Camden Yards doing play-by-play on the radio with John Miller. Bobby Bonilla hit a double, and we all heard the president, in his obvious excitement, holler, "Go, baby!" I remember commenting at the time, I bet that's not the first time he said that. Remember the AstroTurf and the pickup?
Mike McCurry says he made the request to C-SPAN after several reporters came to him and apologized. But C-SPAN says it will show the dinner speech again.
The verdict is in for Alec Baldwin. The actor has been on trial for battery. He allegedly hit a photographer who tried to videotape wife Kim Basinger and their new baby.
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Alexander Baldwin, not guilty of the offense charged to it.
The verdict was read this afternoon in a Los Angeles courtroom. Baldwin was accused of attacking photographer Alan Zanger, who took this video just before the incident. During the trial, Baldwin's attorney dubbed Zanger a stalkerazzi. The man convicted of stalking Madonna has been sentenced to 10 years in prison. The judge rejected the argument that Robert Hoskins' apparent mental illness merited leniency. The judge instead said Hoskins is a danger to society. Hoskins had threatened to slit Madonna's throat.
Sylvester Stallone has been smacked with a $50 million defamation lawsuit. The suit was filed by his former stepfather and business manager. The manager claims Stallone cut him loose after he raised the star's net worth from zero to about $80 million. The suit also claims that two executives of Planet Hollywood have exerted undue influence on Stallone. Stallone is an investor in the restaurant chain. The late George Burns has left us with a smile, even from the grave. At his request, the comedian was buried with 3 cigars, a watch given to him by his wife, Gracie Allen, and bridge money. Lots of bridge money. 10 $100 bills, a 5 and 3 ones, just in case he wants to strike up a game in heaven.
A Nashville insurance broker is getting an earful from fans of Spike Lee's new movie about phone sex.
Mike Hassel.
Mike Hassel's toll-free number happens to spell out the name of Lee's new movie, Girl 6. Hassel has been getting more than 100 calls a day, some of them pretty wild, he says. Spike Lee sent T-shirts and movie passes along with an apology.
Want to play mind games on the internet for $1 million? Uri Geller, who gained fame for his alleged ability to bend spoons just by willing it with his mind, wants to find others with that talent. Geller is launching a contest on the internet's homepage. For a $4 fee, you can see a picture of a spoon in a see-through safe in London. If you can will that spoon to bend, you're a winner.
There are large numbers of people who do report metal bending effects, but up to now there hasn't been anybody with the same types of abilities that Uri Geller has. And so I think that's what we're looking for, is somebody who's able to achieve much larger effects.
Professional magicians scoff at Geller. They say his spoon bending is just a trick.
Have to go home and try that. Sports is next. Another local college basketball coach gets the axe.
And the Blackhawks are on fire tonight against the Devils. We'll have the red-hot highlights when we return.
A restaurant decides what to do with the big spender who wants a waitress to return his $1,000 tip.
My grandfather started the business not long after he came here. I've been running it now for 6 years. For me, there's a lot of pride in it. I've been given something that 2 men spent their entire lives building. How will it turn out under me? I think about that. About my family, 200 people that work here. And I can't help but think about my grandfather.
It's your life's work. Does your bank understand that?
name is Candace. I'm 13. I'm a camp counselor. Last year, I didn't get out much. I was hooked up to a life support machine, but a girl died in an accident and I got her kidney.
I'm George Ryan. It's easy to be an organ donor. Sign the back of your driver's license and tell your family. Right, Candace?
Right.
He gave a waitress a $1,000 tip, but now he wants it back. Will he get it? Coming up on Fox News.
Looking for a better way to keep in touch with folks in Canada? AT&T's got a terrific offer. Just 9 cents a minute all weekend long. From anywhere in the U.S. to anywhere in Canada. 9 little cents a minute. Plus, low weekday rates and save 25% on U.S. calls. AT&T plans offer all that and more. Even if you're already a calling plan member, just call 1-800-272-WORLD to enroll. 9 cents a minute to Canada all weekend long for 6 whole months. Now that's a great way to keep in touch. That's your true choice, AT&T.
In a review of competitive luxury cars conducted by Consumers Digest, Lincoln Town Car was found in a familiar position. On a pedestal, honored as a Best Buy. In awarding this distinction, the reviewers singled out Town Car's smooth, quiet ride, generous room, luxury features, and comfort. And in a competition where value reigns supreme, Town Car ended up exactly where it belongs. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Bulls fever is heating up around town, and a downtown sporting goods store is getting into the act. This 35-foot balloon is gracing the roof of Sport Mart. One window of the store also displays a countdown to 70 wins for the Bulls.
Well, the Bulls did not play today, but the Blackhawks did, and Dan Jiggets, they probably wish they didn't.
Well, no, actually, they're glad they did, John. It's a great story. You know, the storyline with the Blackhawks was something like this. They're missing Jeremy Roenick and Mary Craven and just got a new defenseman enforcer and traveled to Jersey to meet the Devils. And the debut of the new guy, opera singer Enrique Ciccone. What a great hockey name. And a great start for the Hawks. James Black just recalled from Indianapolis, the 360 and the shot, the flex pass, Martin Brodeur, and the Hawks led 1-0. Later in the first, Hawks short-handed. Keith Carney's dump and takes a funny hop right to Jeff Shantz, who blows the past Brodeur for a 2-zip lead. Now the Hawks made it 3-0 on the power play. Gary Suter rips one past Brodeur. The Hawks led 3-0. And then the main event, Bob Probert must have known he had some competition from Ciccone. He and Reed Simpson go at it toe-to-toe at center ice. This one was better than the Tyson Bruno fight. Certainly more punches thrown. The Hawks knock off the defending champs 4-2. As we go to the NHL scoreboard, the Red Wings crush the Avalanche 7-zip. The Ducks are putting the quack attack on the Blues. Montreal leads Buffalo, and Hartford and Ottawa skate to a 1-all tie. In NBA action, Orlando at Washington, the alley-oop to Shaq, but he misses the dunk. Bullets run Liddell Eccles to Juwan Howard with authority. The Bullets hung in there with the Magic tonight, but in fact, they had to go to overtime, but Shaq was just too much. The alley-oop, this time, he finishes. Orlando wins it 111-108. In OT, Shaq finished with 49 points. On the NBA scoreboard, Atlanta knocks off Charlotte 117-92. Steve Smith, 27 points. The Pacers declaw the Grizzlies. Doug Collins' Pistons pound the Nets 111-96. Grant Hill, 26. And Boston edge the Nuggets by 1. The Heat lead the Bucks, and the Spurs make fossil fuel out of the Raptors 120-108. By the way, Will Purdue, 18 points. Well, the University of Illinois has made another head coaching change, and this time at their Chicago campus. Bob Hallberg, who's been at the helm at UIC for the last 9 seasons, has been reassigned within the school, meaning he's been dogged. See you later. Illinois assistant Jimmy Collins is believed to be the leading candidate to replace Hallberg, and word is that he will interview for the job tomorrow. Big upset in the NCAA tournament. Top seed UConn is gone in the Southeast. Off the long rebound, the Bulldogs run Marcus Bullock to Dante Jones for the near 360 jam. Now, UConn had a chance to tie, but Ray Allen misses the tray, and Mississippi State advances to the Elite Eight for the first time with a 60-55 win. And a real thriller down in Denver. Syracuse down 2 with 2.4 seconds left to play in regulation. Syracuse inbounds the ball to Jason Sapolo, who hits the jumper. That tied us 7 apiece, so we go to overtime. In the OT, Syracuse down 1. John Wallace throws in a wild three-pointer to put the Orangemen up by 2. And Georgia's going to inbound the ball. Time running out, and Pertha Robinson throws up a game-winning shot. No, It doesn't go in, and the clock ran out anyway. Syracuse wins it 83-81 in overtime. As we go to our scoreboard for the NCAA tournament, Cincy is leading Georgia Tech right now at the break, and Arizona and Kansas about to get started west. Well, the police blotter has Pittsburgh Steelers running back Bam Morris arrested in Texas for possession of marijuana. He is facing a 2 to 10 year possible conviction. And the Dallas Cowboys have signed Vikings linebacker Broderick Thomas. The terms of the deal were not disclosed. Now on to golf. And, of course, for you duffers, this is a dream come true at the PGA's Freeport McDermott Classic in New Orleans. Taylor Smith from 170 yards out on the par 3 8th hole. It's right on line. Of course it's going to go in. Why else would we show it to you, right? A hole in one. Then Smith walks over and gives a lucky club to a young fan. Now, isn't that special? And finally tonight, you think that Dennis Rodman had all this stuff to do with referees bumping heads and all the rest? Take a look at these Brazilian soccer players just right over a bad call, choking and kicking the referee. He had to be escorted off the field by the police. And late word is that Rod Thorne is reviewing the tapes, but since it's not Dennis, no suspension will be forthcoming. And that's it in Sports Florida, John.
Whoa. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Let's go to Steve Schill for a look at the wake-up weather.
It looks like a pretty decent weekend. However, it does look like we might get some rain as early as late tomorrow evening, folks, into Sunday and into Monday. Here's what it should look like tomorrow morning. Mostly sunny conditions tomorrow morning with a low temperature between 20 and 25 degrees by about 8 a.m., about 28 degrees. And don't forget, increasing cloud cover could mean some showers as early as tomorrow night. If you want to get out the meat and burn it on the grill, you might want to do it early just in case those showers do arrive and spoil your outdoor dinner. Is it too early for? Do you think it's too early?
Oh, absolutely
No, never too early.
Thanks.
Thanks, Steve.
Well, finally tonight from the back page, an Oregon waitress who got a huge tip will get to keep the money despite second thoughts from her once generous customer. Ruth Bullis got a $1,000 tip on a $4 gin and tonic bill. But now the big tipper wants it back. Rather than get in a big fight, Ruth's restaurant decided to let her keep the money and then paid off the customer's credit card bill.
Well, that's tonight's edition of Fox News Chicago. Have a great weekend.
And join Maurice Dubois and me tomorrow night at 9. Good night.
Take care.
The Birdcage is the #1 smash hit in America. A totally hilarious treat from beginning to end.
Bravo!
Get the flock on over to a theater near you. It's just what Rush Limbaugh said. The Birdcage, a Mike Nichols film, rated R. Now playing.
Barry White's interlude in Nassau, the islands of the Bahamas. It just keeps getting better. Call your local travel agent.
When Jewel and Osco get together.
The kids are screaming for us a coupon away. Save $1,000 from dolls to trucks. All the hottest toys this spring.
The Toys R Us catalog with over $1,000 in coupon savings.
Sunday's paper could save your life, too.
In Sunday's paper and in stores now.
You're watching NBC5, Chicago.
This is NBC.
From a teacher's perspective, this was without a doubt one of my more challenging assignments. I was extremely impressed with all of your submissions for the seawall mural. They truly ran the gamut. From abstract minimalism
That's mine.
to absolute realism. pretty real, huh? A little too real for my taste.
It's total Val mentality.
Here's one of my favorites. And this year's first runner-up. Great use of color, Ash.
Very hot.
And this year's winning design.
Oh my God! Chloe, that is so great.
You knocked me out, Chloe. Congratulations. Okay, that's it. Let's head on back to school.
Ashley, I really liked your design.
Like I care. What'd you do to win anyway?
What do you mean?
Forget it.
Boy, is Ashley a sore loser or what? God, she hates me. Who cares? You're like a famous artist now. I mean, last year's winner got like a full scholarship to Pratt. I'm a sophomore. Get a grip, Nina.
Hey.
I will have you know that you are dating the next Georgia O'Keeffe. Mr. Novak picked my design for the seawall.
That's terrific.
I know.
Heck, I was hoping I'd catch you before class. I'm wondering if everything's okay. You haven't turned your sketchbook in 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I've been working weekends for my dad, so I'm a little behind.
Yeah, I had to work weekends in high school myself. Let's try to get some sketch time in before Friday, all right?
You got it.
Okay. Drop by after class. We'll go over all the materials you need, okay?
Sure. So cool.
Zach, either Casey's sick or she isn't. The only thing she's sick of is Ashley's brat pack. You know, I think they got to her. Well, her mom thinks she's sick. Man, my mom won't let me miss school unless she sees blood or puke. Somebody's got to talk to her. I tried, man. She wouldn't even pick up the phone. I think we got to just let her chill out and figure it out for herself, you know? Hey, yo, Flipper, what's up, man? You're looking down, bruh.
Man, I thought creative writing was supposed to be cake. I mean, all you get to do is make stuff up. My brain's running on empty.
What's the drill?
We're supposed to be reporters covering a story.
Elvis is always good for a headline.
Mouse, the king is dead. I mean, I want to write something really out there, right on the edge.
Yo, Flipper, man. I think your story just walked by.
Sally Medlicott?
I don't know, man. Her belly ring. Call it the scarred generation. Us. It's like everyone's getting pierced. Ears, nose, navel, tongue. Tattooed, branded. It's like an epidemic.
You know, I've been thinking about getting my ear pierced.
Go for it.
Yeah. I write from first-hand experience.
Yeah.
Zach, you're a genius.
It goes without saying.
What's wrong? Nothing. Hi.
Hi.
Ashley didn't look too happy.
Well, I tried to tell her the C+ on a sophomore sculpting project wasn't going to keep her out of Yale, but it didn't seem to help.
Wow.
You approve?
It's incredible.
They're illustrations for a new textbook I'm writing.
I can't wait to read it.
Okay. you'll be needing this and this. There's a voucher for Mason's Hardware. They're donating paint, brushes, everything you're gonna need.
How long do you think the mural will take?
A couple of weeks working after school, maybe a Saturday or two.
That's all?
You sound surprised.
Well, I mean, you're looking at the biggest thing I've ever painted, and it's 20 by 30 inches. Now we're talking about something 20 by 30 feet.
Chloe, stop worrying. Meet me at the seawall tomorrow after school. I'll get you started.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Novak, for everything.
Hey, don't thank me. You earned it. Now, get out of here. I got work to do.
Right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I know it's a last-minute thing, but if the part interests you.
I thought Kirsten was your partner.
Yeah, mono. But you didn't catch it from me.
Okay. Sure, I would love to do the thing with you, Teddy.
Great, great. So, I'll see you.
Okay.
Hey, Theodore.
Oh, I got your math homework here. I got a couple wrong just to be consistent.
Thanks. I owe you, man.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Teddy's drama club partner got mono, so he asked me to do the scenes with him. We're doing the Count of Monte Cristo. You know the story?
Sure. Count of Monte Cristo, right?
Not Crisco, Cristo.
Whatever.
Well, I've got a ton of scenes to learn, so will you help me?
Pass.
I thought you said we decided we were going to spend some time together.
Nobody said anything about theater.
There's action, intrigue, lots of kissing.
Well, then, the show must go on.
Do you have a pulse? Why am I more excited about this mural than you are? I'm excited. I'm just scared. I mean, what if I blow it? Chloe, there is no such thing as painter's block. You know, I'm a little jealous. I thought Ashley had that market cornered. Not about the mural. Mr. Novak. So hot. I guess he's okay. You guess. You guess. Chloe, does the word crush mean anything to you? Okay, I like him, you know, like in a student-teacher sort of way.
Hey, can you throw these in there for me?
Yes, sir.
Come on, let's go.
Bye. We're off to the beach to rehearse my